Good day, everyone. Welcome to the Technologist Forum. We got a lot to talk about. I'm not even going to mess around. I got some amazing co-hosts behind the scenes. So let's go ahead and get into it today, January 6th, 2024. Man, okay. Let's go ahead and get this going right now. We're not even going to waste any time. I got a, star-studded group of co-hosts right here, and man, there's like a who's who in the podcast, live streaming, broadcasting world right now. Everyone knows who y'all are. Let's get into it. First of all, gentlemen, how you doing?
Doing good. I'm ready to go out and get it.
What you ready to go get? We gonna start like that. What you ready to go get?
Oh man, it's this year is the I'm not playing year. This is the show and tell year. This is the fail in public year.
Wow,
Reactivating old podcast, launching a new one, and yeah, I can't no playing around.
Okay. So we go. Man, I don't even. You just said a whole thing right there. But that's kind of where I want to get into. Brother Gums, where you at, man? Come on now. You in a remote studio somewhere. Like I said, you probably in an airport lounge or something. You probably Virgin Atlantic or United mileage.
Looking fancy.
Million miles. Where you at, man?
I'm out here hiding out.
He's talking soft
in
too.
The back cave.
He's talking soft too.
Nah, I'm good. I'm like Walt, man. It's time to get out there and just get that money and get and accomplish these goals for 2024. It's just been sitting on my desk, piling up. So it's like I gotta clear up this to-do list now.
Oh.
But happy New Year to all you brothers, by the way.
Yes, you too. You can't keep pushing papers around. You gotta keep it moving. Tall boy, I see you, man. You're down there pushing buttons. He down there doing something. What's going on with you? I see. There he go. That's what he looking for.
I got to bring the energy, man. It wouldn't be right if I didn't. But I think in my Cat Williams voice, this is the year of accountability. So I mean, we coming in hard. Hey, look, I posted something today about apologizing if you do something wrong on my Facebook page. And I mean, it was real because it was like, there's a lot of things that I think people have kind of held back from not exposing people or not letting folks know how they really feel. No, I think for the ones who are not familiar who Cat Williams is or know what's going on, hold
on. Don't put the cart before the horse.
All I'm just saying is this is the year of accountability. That's all I'm saying. The year of accountability. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right. So the reason that I said that is because I told y'all, what the run of shows, what we're gonna talk about today. See everybody in the comments. Appreciate you for being here and engaging. Mr. Cox, Florence, Denise, Matt, Hicks Senior's in the building. So yes, the show is officially going. But I wanted to start with that, actually. Be honest with you. Cat Williams. I wanted to start with Shannon Sharpe. If you in the culture, if you watching it or not, but even if you're not, you know about it because they literally have broken the internet, and that's an interesting thing that's happening right now. And so, Corey Guns, I'm gonna have you go into kind of the details in terms the 30,000 foot level of what it is that I'm talking about. But from a technology perspective, I want to ask all of you three about how can one session like that be so dominating, be so much of an influence on culture using technology today. One interview has gotten 24 million views, has gained Shannon Sharpe on his Shay Shay podcast. He's at 2.1 million subscribers as of now. Just 2-hour conversation, and I'm kind of
2 hours and 46 minutes.
Okay, exactly. 2 hours, but
pushing 3.
One conversation and how that has changed the dynamic of what so many people are talking about on the internet and the power of that. So Corey Guns, I'm gonna have you talk a little bit about what it is and give the people who may not know what I'm talking about.
I might not be the best person. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
Oh my God!
Corey, hop off the live right now. Go watch it.
This man who runs the Black Podcasters Network.
Exactly. That's exactly. I'm too busy.
I had a sound effect for him, James. Can I please, man? Can I?
I'm not giving. I'm not giving.
Bro, you ain't watched it. Awesome Wood Things. I mean, he's in the Awesome Wood Things. I know I'm trying to get him right on his swagger, right? But Corey, you part of the culture. How have you not?
All right, let's do this. Let's go ahead and
Hold on,
divert.
hold
Oh,
on. Okay,
Jesus.
let's. We got to establish. I'm a leader. I run a community of people. I don't have time all the time to be sitting down and indulging in 3 hour conversations when those
This
3
this
hours
is
can
one
be
that you're
used
gonna
to.
have to take
You
Oh
some
gonna have
no,
to.
time to
I'm
listen
gonna
to
get
though.
to it. I'm gonna get to it. But
If
it's
you are a
just
part of the culture, then that 2 hours and 46 minutes and 5 seconds, you
uh,
have to watch that. 2:46:05. Yes, I'm
you know
telling
what?
you.
I think this is a good part of the
Okay.
conversation because no, I don't. Just because I'm a part of the culture don't mean I have to. Now, I do. I will say this: it was a 2 hour 46 minute conversation between two dynamic and very personable people who are creatives and who have very strong personalities. So I am not surprised at the length of that conversation. Plus, they was drinking, and you got a comedian on there that likes to talk. You got to let it. It's probably longer than that after they edited it down. You know what I'm
It
saying?
actually
So
is. It actually is.
I think that was the part that
No, there was no
I think
edits.
that's the
There was
part
no
that
edits.
really has all
Yeah.
these people.
There was no
No.
edits.
No edits.
Well, and the reason I say
Okay,
that it's
well
longer
that's
than
even
that
better.
because apparently
No
when
edits.
before before they started recording, Cat walked in with things on his mind. So who gonna do it? Because I don't want to do all the talking.
Yeah.
Let's let the young fella, Walter.
Okay, I got it.
Let's let
I
Hold
Dog
on.
got
go.
it.
Let's let the young fella. Let's let the young man talk about it because he's up there dying to
Go
talk,
ahead, Walter.
Brother Gainer.
All right. Yeah. So, y'all, this was Shannon Sharp has been just dominating conversation for a while. I'm excited about his show and that this happened because Club Shay Shay happened after he's leaving FS1, and people were like, "Oh, what's going to happen?" And so just seeing this one is pretty dope. But Shannon Sharp, he's had plenty of people come on his show. Ricky Smiley, Steve Harvey. The guest list has been growing and growing and growing. And Cat Williams is someone that we haven't really heard a lot from in the public media for a while. He's been doing stand-ups, he's been having the specials, he's been doing this thing. The community knows him, community loves him. But I personally have never seen an interview this long from him, just sharing his whole entire story. So Shannon Sharp invited him on, and Cat Williams wasted no time. He said, "I'm here for the truth. I'm here for the truth." So he's just calling out everyone, every single comedian, like nobody is safe. Rappers too, just sharing the truths that he's experienced and he's witnessed, and people who've mentioned his name, and he's like, didn't happen that way. Didn't happen that way. This was a great conversation for fans of comedy, content creators. I'm even doing a breakdown, working on it for what Black professionals can learn from this. A lot of takeaways. And I think this also just proves a couple of things. One, that television platforms are no longer the only place to get the reach that you want to get. And then also long form content is still alive.
You want to add anything, Doughboy?
I mean, he literally summarized it without going around the whole track. He summarized it. I think that this is one of the best. This opened up the door to let people know, like he said, that YouTube is where it's at.
There you go.
You know, TV is pretty much out the door. People don't really want to, if you don't pay for that premium, you're gonna have to watch that 5-second video, of course. But I mean, at the end of the day, YouTube is where it's at, and unless you're owning your own content, look at what happened with Shannon Sharp. For the ones who, like he said, Shannon Sharp left FS1. No one did not know how he was going to go, and like Shannon Sharp said, I am not an interviewer. I'm not a journalist. I'm not a writer. I'm just here to have a conversation and have a glass of have a glass of an adult beverage with me, and let's talk about life. And I think that that's where a lot of people have strayed from, because they're looking at it from a journalist standpoint. But it's like, you don't have to be a journalist these days. You can just be yourself, have a conversation with you and the person, and then the goal is to get one or two things that you did not know about that person. And Cat Williams literally had a lot of things on his chest that he wanted to get off, and he did not start. And normally you have to warm somebody up. He went in at the moment, record. He started it off saying, "I'm going in and I'm coming in hot." And he addressed things. And the funny thing about it is, everyone has responded, but no one never said he lied. Everyone has said that they had something to say,
Right.
but no one has questioned him as far as his validity. So I think at the end of the day, he's holding people accountable. And that's why I said for me, for 2024, it's like I'm not holding back. So if you didn't like who I was now, it's a little too late because the other side of Tall Boy is about to come out, because he gave you that liquid courage to say, you know what? Why is it that I got to hold my tongue? And I wrote this quote down, and I'm gonna land my plane here. He said this quote here: "Winners are not allowed to let losers rewrite history." That is my motto for 2024.
I love that. I love it. So what I guess where I want to go with this conversation, and I see Walter in the back room. I'm gonna get you on here in a second, man. Walter Strong. Again, the impact and the power. And Tallboy, you mentioned it. The fact that digital content creation, storytelling, having a platform and owning that platform is now it can't be denied, right? It can't be denied. A 2.5 hour conversation with, one of the leaders from our culture who, again, this man is funny. We there is no doubt that Cat Williams is one of the Mount Rushmores when it comes to comedians, right? So, but he's coming out here telling his side of stories, and there hasn't been too many folks coming out saying, you know what, he wasn't telling the truth. There are folks coming out responding that weren't even mentioned. So again, the power of this, of having a platform, of being able to go live when you have something to say, the power of being able to express yourself and owning that conversation. Shay Club Shannon Sharp owns that content. It is now distributed all over the place. I can't get it off of my YouTube history, right? All the different variants of that. I was watching something with Ice Cube this morning. He was setting the record straight about some things. I was watching Kevin Hart's commentary. I was watching Cedric the Entertainer's commentary. Right? Everyone is chiming in on this, and it is really not just overshadowing the Black culture, Black community. It may be on something like Entertainment Tonight or Today shows, right? So it's actually becoming pervasive in the news cycle as well. And I just want to hash on that, the power of, again, owning your own content, of owning a platform to where you can tell your stories. He's had this podcast for a number of years already, and it only takes one to, and you don't even need to go viral
for what, 2 years.
Well, however long he's had it, but I'm saying you only need one to really resonate with people, to have that trajectory in terms of where it actually is the thing on everyone's tongue. I know Kevin was saying, the Coach Prime episode was solid too, and it was. But now I can just imagine that every week, more and more people, now that they got this information, now that they got this conversation, and they see all of this smoke coming out, are going to start tuning into that. And that's kind of what I wanted to lean into for us creators, to see that there's an advantage even in 2024 to do something. If you haven't started yet, start. Go out there and do something. So, Mr. Gums, do you want to chime in, man, while I bring this other gentleman in real quick?
I don't.
That's right. That's right. Hold on. You haven't seen it yet. You can't really. You can't chime in. You haven't seen.
I mean, I've seen clips, but
Yes.
I mean, I'm happy for. I'm happy.
Yo,
for Shannon, though,
another takeaway.
I love. What happened?
You go ahead.
Sorry, I said I'm happy for him because I mean, it was like, you're waiting for that one episode that's going to take him to the next level in regards to his viewership, and I mean, he has some other great conversations. I love the one he does with Ocho Cinco. When I can catch that.
Yeah.
But I think this was like, I mean, Cat Williams is dynamic. He's always going to say something off the wall. So it's just like, what's he going to come say this time? And give him a little cognac, and there you go.
Next thing you know,
best episode ever.
Next thing, James or Wesley or something like that, come hit me up so I can level this playing field. Mr. Strong, you heard the comments. You heard the conversation.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Yes, sir. I know you were streaming this morning. I know you were up this morning doing your thing already, talking about within the huddle, talking to your community. But I wanted to bring you in to talk a little bit about this situation we got going on.
Well, unfortunately, I have to be honest. I'm seeing it in my news feeds, but I haven't given it enough attention to find out what the conversation is about. Um, but I will say, in terms of your last statement, is that we have now a platform called YouTube and other platforms such as LinkedIn and IG that gives me and you now the ability to be able to have a conversation with one another or individuals of significance like a Shannon Sharp or a Matt Barnes or a Cat Williams. To have that platform to do that is powerful. But what comes with great power, as they say in Marvel, comes great responsibility. And so to see individuals like Shannon Sharp, Matt Barnes, and Steven Jackson use these platforms and have these organizations behind them, like a Showtime, to be able to have these conversations, to say it's possible for me and you. I've had the privilege now of knowing you for a little over 2 years, and just seeing how Hex News Media. This is not a plug, gentlemen. He didn't send me out a memo to say stuff good about him. Just speaking from a viewer standpoint of how Hicks News Media has evolved, and it's evolved in such a way where now you're getting the attentions of the brand deals and sponsorships. You may have always did that, but now you're getting people that are evolved with the Super Bowl or evolved with the All-Star game, and they're like, we need to pay attention. And so if that's possible for you, it's possible for me, it's possible for those that are on the panel. And so to see this Cat Williams conversation keep popping in my feed, YouTube's like, don't you want to pay attention to this? Don't you want to watch this? And I'm like, I know he's funny, but he's not one of my top 10 comedians. So that's the reason why I'm not giving it any attention. So, but to your other point about the platform, the content, it's available to me and you.
I appreciate them flowers right there, but I want to dive just a little bit deeper, specifically with you, man. I want to pick back at this conversation because again, you are a content creation coach. You are a mentor to folks within the digital ecosystem. How can you not see that this is dominating your YouTube feed, right? Your everything that shows up on your kind of your For You page, and not look at it and say, if everyone is starting to pay attention to this particular story, how can you as a coach kind of not give it some attention, right? Because again, we're always looking at trending topics. Is it because you're locked in on your specific niche and you're staying focused on that as opposed to deviating, right? Because your niche is digital creation, content creation, coaching, and things of that nature, and you're seeing that this is outside of that niche, so you're not even giving it any time. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but give me kind of your context on that. Because
why it's because in terms of I know what I know of Cat Williams. He's not someone that I've watched in the past. I know that he is a comedian. I know that he's very successful, but I will tend to click on content by Dave Chappelle. Then I would tend to click on Cat Williams. I would tend to click on content from something old from Bill Cosby himself, than from Cat Williams. He's just not someone that I have followed in the past. And so when I saw the new news feed flash over in the YouTube on some clips on him, I just, okay, he's got something late, going on lately. I also saw someone post something on Facebook with his name on it, and they made the comment about Vlad TV, them wanting to wish they had the interview. I think that's how they said the post. I know of Vlad TV because I've watched different interviews. I don't know the gentleman's name specifically of the show, but I've watched things on the doc DLC about his journey of, in hip hop. So I know of it. But Cat Williams in particular, to be specific to your question, I've just never been a person to follow things about him or the things that he watched. So it's not that I don't want to, not per se, and you've piqued my interest now to say, well, to go back and listen to this, go back and listen to the interview. It's probably something very relevant, not just for those who really follow him, but it's beneficial even to you. So just by you passing it on and having this conversation on this platform has now piqued me to say, okay, you need to kind of at least go take a look at this and not just view it from the standpoint of he's just not someone you that I watch. That's all.
Got you. Tallboy, let me ask you the same question, right? Because again, you come from that world, right? From the entertainment world. You live on red carpets. You are in Atlanta. You and Walter Gaynor, and you know, these are the conversations that you get into every single day. And again, so being someone who's in entertainment industry, who owns a couple of platforms on YouTube, but I know you've pivoted within the last couple of years to be more consumer technology. Is this, and back in the day, I mean, we were talking before we went live about you getting that exclusive interview with Kanye, and I mean, you've talked to everyone who's who, right, in Black entertainment. Even though you've gone more 90% towards consumer technology, is this a story that you feel, you know, it's hot? We're talking about it from a technology perspective. Is this a story that you think that you would pivot to and add it to your old I Am Tallboy page just to be in the conversation and to have a discussion? Are you going to follow this trend, or are you just going to watch it as a bystander as opposed to a creator? Just curious. I mean, because looking at these numbers, right? 23 million views, just on 118,000 comments, 854,000. Right? Y'all see these numbers? Those are numbers that a lot of creators wish to have on their environments, and you're seeing a lot of people that are springing up doing the shorts and the clips and the you know, the quick commentary about this and getting some traction on their platforms. Let me get your thoughts on it, man.
One of the things for me is I stay in my lane. I'm not trying to jump. I have a T-shirt on my, and this is not a plug, but you know, if you go to shop.tallboy.us, I have a T-shirt that's one of my T-shirts that says "Stay in your lane." So I mean, when I was working in radio, when I was doing those red carpets, and it's not to say that I don't do that, but like you said, I focus more on consumer technology now, and I will go back into this lane. So this may just be a story that I missed, but don't think that I'm not paying attention, and don't think that I'm not keeping my ear to the culture. Because once you've been a part of it, or you're attached to it, it's never going to leave you, right? But for me to just say I'm going to start talking about Cat Williams, and he even got on one of my good friends, Wanda Smith. He got on her, and it was like, when you hear it from it's three sides to every story: your side, their side, and the truth, right? And when you go back and you look at it, it's like, okay, hearing it from his perspective, I see where he's coming from. When I heard it from her perspective, I see where she's coming from. But then now the jury is the audience. And so now it's one of those situations where is this motivating me to say I need to go get out on a red carpet tomorrow and say, what are your thoughts on Cat Williams and the Shannon Sharpe interview? No, that's not where my mindset is. Now, if it's a question and it presents itself, then, you know, I'm seasoned enough to know how to bring that question in. Okay. But where I'm at today, I'm more focused on this tech news right here, whichever side it is. That's where I'm at. So I'm staying in my lane, and don't think that I'm not cheering from the sidelines, because I love to see how Shannon is winning. The only thing that I'm mad at him about is he does not he owns the content, but he put it on YouTube. What if he had drove everybody to
talk about that? Yeah, talk about that right there.
What if he would have drove everybody? But a clip. What if he would have only put 10 minutes of it on Club Shay Shay's podcast on YouTube and said, to find out more, go here? And then he could have had all of his merch. He could have had all of the things that he's promoting, and it would have all drove to that website, as opposed to just being on YouTube, because people are not going to look any further. And then when he did his podcast that Thursday night, because he saw it was picking up juice, he said, look, we've already sold out of the cognac. We're going to turn around and go sell Ocho's cigars. And before that 2-hour show ended, Ocho's cigars were gone. Yeah. Now, what if you would have did that for yourself and said, come on over here to hicksnewmedia.com or shop.tallboy.us? Like, this is a masterclass of what I'm explaining right now. Owning that content. Corey has a website. You give them just enough and say, if you like this, come watch the full interview over here. And that's where the ownership comes in. Now, yes, granted, YouTube is going to cut him a sizable check. Yes, people are going to say, you know what? I do feel comfortable sitting on your couch. Yes, you are knowledgeable. Yes, I do want to have a conversation with you because you're going to allow me to have a conversation. And like Shannon said, if you want a journalistic interview, go to Oprah, go to Barbara Walters, go to, whoever that journalist is, go to them. But if you want to have a conversation and you want me to sit on this couch and just freely be me, come on over here to, Club Shay Shay. So, I mean, and I think that's what I'm trying to build with my content.
Yeah.
I think that that's what you're building with Hicks New Media. I think Walter is saying I'm having a sports conversation. Corey's got a blog site where it's like, hey, come on over here. And what did Suge Knight say? If you don't want to be dancing in the videos, come on over here to come on over here to Deborah. Yeah. So is that not what he said? So my thing is, drive them to your place or your properties. And Shannon missed the golden opportunity. I'm not knocking him because he's got the buzz. He's got 24 million in 2 days.
Mhm.
They broke the record. He had the record for 48 hours. He broke the record. He now owns that record for the most viewed video in 48 hours.
Crazy.
And it's already at 24 million. So I mean, I've been keeping ahead and paying attention, but Tall Boy answering, what do you think at CES of Shannon Sharp, blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
We're not gonna do that next week. We're not gonna do that tomorrow. Okay.
So it
all depends on who that may be.
Can I throw some in there what Tall Boy said? I remember Shannon said he was talking to his team and he didn't think, he was just like, he didn't think the interview was like that big, and his team was the one that was like, this is going to be big. So I think too, like, we got to pay attention to that side, and I think that's important to having a good team around you, because he's in the moment, right? He's having a conversation, probably a little tipsy, he's enjoying himself.
Yeah.
And he's in the moment, so he's not realizing what's going on. But it was his team that was like, this is going to be big.
That's right in the line with what Kevin was saying, right? Do you think that Kevin's he missed because he didn't realize what he had? So that's right in alignment, right there. It's good stuff.
So there's no blueprint to this, right? There's no blueprint to anything that we're doing. We're all trying to figure it out. And because there's no blueprint, we're looking at what he's doing. And unfortunately, what Kat said, you stole my joke, right? Or you stole some of my material. Then what do you have? You have other people that mimic what the next person does. So now we're looking and seeing where he went wrong. And then now it's like, hey, all of us as content creators, they're all going to rush to YouTube. But then, and say, we're going to start our podcast on YouTube. How many years have I been saying you need to have your show on YouTube? But then now I'm looking at it as, no, the early adopters and the people who buy in early, we like, hey, go own your own digital assets. Because you can go to hicksnewmedia.com. You can go to the Lab Tech Show, right? You can go to Corey, what's your website? Because I want to make sure I plug it, right?
Which one? Black Podcasters Association?
Yeah, you go to Black Podcasters Association. Yeah, Black Pod News. Yeah, you go to those
Black
sites.
Pod News.
Yeah, you go to those sites and it's like, but what if that content was sitting there? And then now you got all of the or you get all the digital ads, you get all of the merchandise pricing instead of one link. You get whatever it is that you want to promote, a masterclass or whatever. What if that? But he did not know what he had. So since he didn't know what he had, all we can do is just say, what did he do right? What did he do wrong? And how can we grow from it? And then now that we know, we go from there.
I'm clapping because literally I set y'all up, right? I didn't even tell y'all that I wanted to have this conversation, and literally this discussion is going in the realm that I wanted to, especially with the comments here, right? Driving to your properties require you to have the infrastructure ready. And what Tall Boy was just saying, and what everyone is saying, again, because we primarily, this audience is digital creators, content creators, solopreneurs, and folks within this ecosystem that are coaches and things of that nature. And how do we see this thing that has captured not just our culture, but has captured the internet culture that is on these big TVs, that is on news and podcasts and radio. How do we grab a hold of this moment in time and learn from it and make it our own? And I think what everyone is saying is, one, be cognizant of the moment. You do got to know about it, but if it's in your niche, then make sure that you pay attention to it. If it's around your niche, make sure that you kind of keep track of it. Know what's going on, right? So you can have an intelligent conversation. If someone stops you in the street, Brother Strong, you can at least say that I'm aware of it, right? You don't have to know the whole 2 hours and 45 minutes, but you are aware of the conversation. And I think, again, that's like I always talk about when it comes to recommending tools. I always like to have at least 3, right? So I'll tell someone about something like a Canva, Simplified, and an easel. I won't just say, go use this one because I'm using it and everyone else is using it, but let's hear about your particular situation. So us as creators, content organizers, as coaches, as subject matter experts, it's our charge to know what's going on within this environment, within this ecosystem, because again, most of the folks that are watching right now are in this boat as well, and are looking to do something good and thrive here in 2024 as they build their businesses, as they build their side hustles, or whatever the case may be. My goodness.
There was one other takeaway that I got from that I haven't heard as many people talk about, but just the power of Twitter or X. Because I didn't know about it until my girl, she told me about it, and then also just saw tons of clips all over Twitter. I to be honest, I wasn't going to rush to watch the video, but I just kept seeing more clips and more conversations on Twitter, everyone tweeting, everyone having hot takes, people telling this story, and I was like, okay, I have to watch it. And that, like, I've been kind of moving away from X, Twitter, just checking out Threads, checking out Spill, just in other places. But man, this interview right here just reminded me of the power of X, the power of community, and how important it is to make it super easy for people to talk about it and share your content.
The power of community. That's the takeaway right there. The fact that you said that. And shouts out to, I'm gonna do a plug for my community. Most of my community started on Twitter, so that's where I'm streaming on there. I'll never call it X. Look, okay, it's Twitter. I'm a ride or die with Twitter, but we stream in there. But again, power of community, and what we do is not for us; it's for the community. So if they're asking us to bring some information, bring some content, bring some knowledge, we have to be. Listen, we got to be obedient to that. It just doesn't make sense. Go, drop that one more again. No.
Period.
So you bring radio folks or ex-radio folks on, and they always got their soundboards. Folks, I'm not pressing they got all these sound effects, but I forgot my train of thought. I see Steve Worthy in the comments. Appreciate you for being here, but he probably in an airport somewhere because he jet setting too.
Can I make a small rebuttal to Corey?
Come on, that's what we're here for.
I certainly understand the bigger picture of what you're saying, and I'm speaking from the journey of where I'm at right now to eventually get to what you're talking about. When I look at someone like a Matt Barnes and a Stephen A. Smith, or where all the smoke first started, from their first episode to where it's now, where they have Showtime behind them, they have different sponsorships behind them. They didn't have that at the beginning. But how did I find all the smoke, Matt Barnes and Stephen A. Smith? Did I find them on their own platform? And if I would have found them on their own platform, understanding the history of their NBA journey and some of the things that they were associated with, would have clicked on their content to watch former basketball players being interviewed? Probably not. So sometimes YouTube is a recognized platform where all races, colors, and creeds may feel comfortable in going to be introduced to a Matt Barnes or a Ryan Clark from The Pivot, or James Hicks, or I Am Tall Boy, to be able to do that. And then as your channel grows, and if you get that one interview, like you said, you don't know what you have, eventually when it explodes, as long as you're building towards that infrastructure to have that, then the journey in being on YouTube eventually can propel you to that platform that you're talking about, versus me just saying, I wish I would have had it on my platform. Because 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I didn't know about Club Shay Shay. I knew about Shannon and Skip on Undisputed, but that led me to Club Shay Shay on YouTube. Your thoughts?
And all of that, and what you're saying is right. I'm not telling you not to be on YouTube. I'm not saying that, because YouTube, YouTube is the place. It's the encyclopedia. We are writing history for the next generation with YouTube. This content that we're creating today, we're playing a part, and YouTube is the driving force. Now, I don't expect you to I don't expect any content creator who's first starting out, because I didn't have it when I first started out. No, once again, there's no blueprint. But what I can say, what I've learned in all these years of creating content, you have to start on YouTube, because people have to find you somewhere. You can start on Instagram, you can start on TikTok, you can start on whatever social platform that you want to start. But YouTube is going to always reign supreme when it comes to social. But what I am saying on the flip side is give them just a piece, then drive them for the rest. That's what I'm saying. And if you listen to any of Dame Dash's interviews where he's saying being a boss and owning your own content, YouTube is giving you pennies on the dollar, whereas you could probably get all of that if you were running digital ads on your actual website. So did I have that answer in the beginning? No. And with Showtime, Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, they had the name of being former athletes, but not stars. But at the same token, if they would have put it on their platform, you're right. No one probably would have went to allthesmoke.com. Nobody probably would have never went there. But because they were cutting up the content and they were force feeding us the snippets, just no different from what we're seeing on all these with Club Shay Shay, with Kat and Shannon Sharp. They're force feeding, but all you got to do is, hey, drive here. Instead of YouTube, drive here. Because they're not saying go watch the whole interview at the end of Shannon Sharp and Cat Williams' interview. The full interview is on YouTube. You're just seeing clips. So at the end, send them to if you want to catch the full interview, it's here. That's just something that I've learned over the years. Yeah. So anyone that's starting, I mean, of course, everybody wants to be a YouTuber. There was no such thing as a YouTuber in 2009. Nobody wanted to do this in 2009. But now when the pandemic hit, everybody's mama is saying, I got to get the right camera and the right microphone. I got to have the right lights for my kid because he wants to be a YouTuber.
Yeah. And that's where I'm going to recruit. That's where I'm going to recruit Mr. Strong there, because again, he's a digital content coach who can help you see what I did there? See, okay, hold on.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
But let me do this, because again, I'm a slightly seasoned fella, and things fall out of my head before it's already fell out of my head. God damn it. Okay, hold on.
Bring some of them grades out. Come on.
Some of that James off.
So James, can I bring it back for you a little bit? He gave his rebuttal. I gave my response. What is your take to both of those? Because now and even to the audience that's watching, you heard what he had to say. You heard what I had to say, and neither one is wrong. What do you say to that?
Well, let me put this comment up before I say anything. So, like what Tony is saying here, appreciate you being here as well, brother. It says YouTube is like us looking at the almanac encyclopedia for information back in the day, and now we have evolved into the digital age of information, and that's what it is. The conversation that at the end of the day, at the core, what I'm trying to get to is that own your own destiny, own your own information, own your story, especially when you're out there, when you're turning lights on and you're pressing record. Make sure you come with quality. Make sure you come above the noise, and make sure you get something that's going to resonate, because like Tallboy was saying, this is going to be out there forever. This data, y'all know I work in enterprise IT. You may think you delete something, but it doesn't go away. So if you're going to put something out there into the ether, make sure that it resonates with folks, and that it can everyone has their own definition of viral. So make sure that it just resonates with the folks that you're looking at it to resonate with. That's the core of what I'm trying to get folks to kind of understand. And again, 85% of the folks that are listening and watching literally right now are content creators. And this is what we're doing. I'm just bringing up this story because I guess I want folks to understand that it's never too late to do the thing. it's never too late to get out there and tell a story. It's never too late to own a room, right? To actually bring that energy, own a room, and own the conversation, and to really have something that a lot of folks are talking about, and someone's going to be listening to and watching one of these stories that you put out there, and it's going to have this type of a trajectory. So bring that constant energy. Always come with the A game. That's just, I think, really where I'm leaning at. I'm not saying that you need to like Cat Williams, you need to like Shannon Sharp, you need to drink cognac. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying that if you are putting yourself out there and you're trying to be a subject matter expert, you're trying to be an advisor and a coach or something of that, come with it every single time, because you don't know who's watching, and you may get 23 million people watching, and you may get a call from CBS, NBC, whomever you're looking to get the call from. And if you're not ready, like Florence was saying, have that infrastructure in place. If you don't have that infrastructure in place, you're going to be left with your hands out. So let's be ready. Let's be ready for when that moment happens, because no one knows when that moment is happening. So that's my thought. Let me look at these comments if y'all want to go into some more discussion, but I didn't want to get into some more conversations about stuff.
And taking Tallboy, your statement the step further, especially for creators in the process of growing. I don't really like using small YouTubers, but creators who are growing. I'm learning in 2024. More important, it's about surrounding myself with the right people who have been within the community and who roll with me for a while and say, hey, look, I want to start, taking on moderator duties for you. I want to start helping you in the graphic designing aspect. I want to play a role in helping you to get to the next level. So that way, when that time comes, the initial excitement of, oh my God, I got over 1 million views. I'll take you back. If you go back and watch the video with James, JP High-Tech, Confidential on Camera, I brought him on. I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I'll get about 100 views typically. If you remember, James, it was during the Black Men of Excellence 2 years ago. You were a part of that panel. When the replay views came into that, on that video, it was close to almost 3,500. I had never gotten a video with that many views before. And I'm thinking, okay, what did I break? What happened? How did this happen? How can I reduplicate it? And because I didn't have the answers, it's one or two videos that I have with over 3,500. Have I reached or hit that plateau since? No, I haven't. And I think part of the reason why I haven't is because of my learning process, but also because I didn't surround myself with the right type of people to help me to understand why that happened and how it can happen again.
So let me add you to this distribution list, this inner circle, man, because we chop it up.
What?
The rest of us, we chop it up every day. Hold on, let me add you right now.
So
I thought I was always invited to the lunchroom table when you would call lunch, but when you
the cool kids table,
send me a bunch of texts,
right now you
a bunch of texts with 916 with no subjects on it from a cybersecurity standpoint, like I can't click on that.
So let's not, and I hope I'm saying the right word. Let's not discredit Shannon Sharp, because I mean, a lot of his videos are doing over 1 million plus.
Yeah.
So it was. So this is just the one that just broke the internet. But I mean, he's got Ocho Cinco with 5. He got Steve Harvey. I don't know his actual numbers, but it's a high count. Some other major ones are high counts as well. And so even to me, who, my viral moment, I've got a couple 100,000 on my old YouTube channel, but I mean, my viral moments are nothing compared to the 1 million that he had off of just a regular interview. So then when you go turn around and go look at this one, it's like, how did he get the whole, anyone that's either in sports or in the comedy or just a part of the culture, how did you get them to all resonate with it? And whether you like Kat, you like Shannon, you just like podcasting in general, what was the secret formula? Because like he said, we went and got a drink and we got something to eat, and I didn't think it was going to be what it was going to be. I just told you we had one. He said he set it up, he promoted it, and then when he dropped it, you just never know which one it is. But let's not discredit the fact that Shannon already had some heavy hitters. So I think it was kind of building. I think each interview that he had, it was building on top of another one. And it's like, he can't have I'm not saying he can't have a rinky-dink interview, because the people that he brings on are all people that we care about, we enjoy, we appreciate. But I mean, he listed his top 5 of who he wanted. And now, because he put out in the atmosphere who he wanted, 9 times out of 10, those people are going to probably want to come, because they do look at numbers. They see the numbers, they see what it did. And when they want to launch something, this has now propelled him as one of the leaders to say, I want to go sit on your couch.
So that's a perfect segue to the second topic that I want to talk about, because again, one of the things that we all see from, okay, we're talking about Shannon Sharpe, we're talking about Club Shay Shay, is that he is very good at creating micro content. Right.
That team is awesome.
Right. At creating micro content, creating separate channels, and just the effect of having either a 5-minute or 8-minute. We all know about algorithms. We all know about formulas, things like that on these digital platforms, and what a right length of a video or something should be. But by creating micro content out of that long 2-hour and 45-minute session has gone off into a whole new direction. Now, I wanted to ask you guys, you four, again, so what are you going to do this year, 2024, actionable, measurable steps in your digital content creation journey, in your coaching journey, in the things that you do? What just for Q1? I don't even want to think about the whole year. Just for these first 3 months, January, February, March.
Do 3 months first.
Yeah, right. Let's break it down that way, because again, that's how I'm writing my vision board. Right, again, into bite-sized pieces of how we're going to move forward. Brother Gaynor, let me start with you, man. What are you going to be doing in your world? Because I personally, let me give you some flowers. I've seen you doing some things within the last couple of weeks that's ridiculous. So you really are making moves, and y'all need to follow Walter Gaynor #2. So actionable, measurable steps for Q1 for you.
Man, appreciate that. Yeah, this holiday break, my partner had COVID, so it was quiet. So I just got on the computer and just went to work. It's been lab season, just testing everything out. I've reactivated my original podcast, Boss Lock Story of New Growth. It was on a 2-year hiatus, brought it back, and the numbers are much better than what it was when it was active. Actually, I was looking at the past 90 days before, not Shannon Sharpe numbers, but we working on that.
But your numbers, right? So again, yeah,
my numbers,
everyone is in their own lane. Everyone's in their own lane.
Exactly. Yes. And so using that momentum, using the reactivation of that to help to propel the launch of a new podcast called Working While Black, which I'm pushing for that one I want to get 500 listens an episode by end of Q1.
Okay.
And I'm doing that by, pushing through with the podcast, getting it deeper into YouTube, but then also really leveraging Instagram with ManyChat, using the auto comment, auto DM thing to push drive traffic from Instagram to either YouTube or the audio platform. Haven't decided which one yet. So those are
talk about that though, right there. Before you, I'm sorry to interrupt, but that's an interesting perspective, an interesting concept. So what are you going to use ManyChat for?
ManyChat. So this is going to be something that every single content creator is probably going to be using this year. People are catching up on it. I've known about it for a minute, but just now I'm actually being active on it. So one of the biggest problems that podcasters have is getting people to enjoy watching the clips, but then actually going to choose to listen or watch the long form content. Going from one platform to another is a big challenge. One of the comments earlier mentioned, if I'm watching interview on Apple TV, I'm not going anywhere else. So with Instagram, there's a lot of different automation features, and something that you'll probably see a lot of people doing now is they'll be like, comment this and I will send you the full this. Some people use it to sell ebooks, sell merch, sell courses, all these things. I'm just using it to help people learn more about my content, to get the full story, to get the full takeaways, all the lessons, just help them, make it easier for them to take part of that. So ManyChat, basically all I have to do is like set it up to trigger a keyword. So if someone's really enjoying a clip, I'll put in the caption, comment YouTube, and I will send you the full episode in your DMs. Someone comments YouTube, the ManyChat auto bot, it says bet, sends them a DM with the link that I already set up so they could catch the full interview.
So it's a click funnel. It's a lead magnet, so to speak. So once they respond, then you get their contact information. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, lots of ways to use it. They got a nice free plan, a really nice free plan. That's why it's going to be really, really big because the free plan is really dope. And then when you get into it, the paid plan it's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth it. So I'm testing that out next week.
Love that. Okay. I might have to check that out. That's dope. Brother Gumps, what you up to, man?
This is why I didn't watch the interview. I got several things on my plate. So one, for our 2nd year anniversary for the Black Podcast Association, we're gonna be launching our website. Goes to what Tallboy was talking about. We have currently a landing page on the platform we use for the community, but now I'm gonna create my own hub so I can get that data, the traffic, and turn the BPA website into a resource. Secondly, on the newsletter, I'm gonna start working on bringing more like behind the scenes video content for our subscribers. So like interviews, more of a journalistic approach with the newsletter with that. And then the last thing is, as you know, I host a Instagram live show every week with my partner Naya. And during the holiday season, we were going back and forth. We're going to be moving that to YouTube. We feel like we can capture more and provide more value by moving our show and do a better produced show by moving it to YouTube versus just doing Instagram lives every week.
Why not do both? Now that everyone has IG Live.
Well, we was talking about that too. So, I want to get on all the platforms.
You're
But
trying to get all that money. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get all that money.
But we're going to move the main focus to the YouTube page because for the type of content we do, I think, for replay value and stuff on the information we talk about would be better served there. Somebody's got to come to your Instagram page. They got to find it. If Ghost becomes a reel, that's fine. But and then I'm also repurposing a lot of our old content that we did for workshops and stuff. Thanks to you and Taja, repurposing a lot of that content and turning those workshops that we did internally into courses and stuff for our members and external people as well. So just been working on that. That's why I haven't had no time to listen to no 3-hour interviews.
I tell you what, let's do. Let me do two things before I go to Tallboy. But before I go to I'm into flowers today, man. So, bro, go back to your newsletter, and I told you this before we went live. You the originator. I did my little thing. I finally kicked it off last night. I sent out. I did a post and sent it out, and it's crazy the attraction that it had within a couple of hours just of going out there and doing the thing. I've been sitting on my hands, but using this using this platform, I must say, using Substack, because I was looking at another platform that integrated a little more closely with my merch store, but it's so simple, so easy. If you got something to say, and I come from blogging anyway, right? I started in the world of WordPress and writing, so I love doing that piece. This is already, I can tell, going to become a huge main. I've already got the list, right? I've already got the email list, but now putting out this content, using this newsletter format, using this platform, man, Corey, you the one, you and Steve were the ones who said, get out here and get on Substack, put it to use. It's very robust, even at the free level. I like what you've done because you've got the custom domain. So I'm going to go ahead and pay the $50, get the custom domain going because I already own the domain name. But just having another avenue that's directly targeted to the community, because not everyone's going to jump on YouTube. Not everyone's going to jump on the audio podcast. Everybody does get that email though, and from the open rate that I've seen, literally within the last 8 hours, it's working. So this I wanted to give you them flowers on that, and then for you other guys on here as well, man, get your newsletters going.
I don't know why I didn't hear Walt talk about him adding his section on the first quarter, but we'll talk about that.
Jay's got me distracted. Actually, today I'm working on articles that go up on Black Pod News as well.
Sure, okay.
Hold me to it. I'm gonna send you something at midnight.
Don't leave out nothing. Don't leave out nothing. And I see some of these thumbnails too. This is some Taja work. So a couple of us have mentioned Taja and are using that as well. So y'all check out a couple of these platforms that are out there. I'll leave a link in the description for this particular app, which is I first saw about it. So let me give Nikki Saunders her flowers, because she was the first one of the first ones that I saw actually using it, and I put it on the back burner. But it will be a replacement for vidIQ and TubeBuddy. It will be. So folks that are using those two platforms know what those are. Taja.ai, optimizing YouTube videos, automatically entering chapters. That right there is a huge time saver right there in the workflow. Automatically optimizing your description, and then the ability to create very high quality thumbnails that you can actually edit in something like a Canva Pro. So all of the administrative pieces behind the scenes, like when we're not filming, that takes all the times, the description, the thumbnails, the tags, the title, all of that stuff can literally be done in a couple of minutes. And 1, 2, 3, 4 of us on this panel right here, I know are using it and using it to death. So I'll leave it at that.
I'm good at titles. I'm good at titles, but when I put it in Tasha, I was like, oh, let me chill. Let me step back.
It's the truth. So anybody want to talk about that, just reach out to anybody's Calendly, get on their clock, and we can have a consulting session. There you go.
Can I say this before you? And this is no knock to Tasha.
Yeah.
And I know people were using.
I know where you're gonna go. No, it's a good point. I think I know exactly where to go. Go ahead. Appreciate this.
TubeBuddy and vidIQ is great, but Awesome Wood Things and we really. He was on his show. I think it was Thursday morning, maybe Friday morning, and he was saying that he goes back and he watches every one of his videos that he does, and this is how you get better.
Yep.
And this is the cheat sheet and I'm asking and I'm praying that whoever does choose to go use this, don't let this be the replacement of not seeing how you get better. That's the thing, because you're going to find out what your hitch words are. You're going to find out, well, I didn't like how I said this. I don't like how I'm presenting myself on camera. I actually took the lens down, but I was told that my camera was blurry. Until I went back and saw the errors of my ways, I thought I was great. I thought I was good, but then when I saw it, I was able to fix it. Taja, TubeBuddy, vidIQ, all of these are great tools to be able to help you speed up your workflow, but do not allow these tools to take away from you getting better. So to Awesome Wood Things, if you're still watching this show, it was you, and it was like, somebody laughed in the comments section where I said I was actually putting in my own personal timestamps, and I hate hearing my voice. But my thing was, I don't like where I say certain things. I caught some of my crutch words, and it was like, try to stay away from sucking your teeth or saying, all right, the next topic, or whatever the case may be. But I would not have known that had I not been able to watch myself. So just be mindful of that before you go all in on Taja.
That's a good point. That's a good best practice, and continue to be a student of the journey, right? You got to watch it. Don't just put it out there and expect it to do great without watching it and learning from it. Film study. We all sports fans. You got to do that film study.
Always self-critique.
I love it. Just like anything that is AI creating for you, you got to put your own flavor and spice into it. Good comment. Good statement right there. Brother Strong, talk to us. Because I know I know your calendar is full. What you doing, man? What you doing?
Well, speak it, bruh. Speak it, Pastor James. Speak it into existence. Speak it. Go ahead and prophetically release it. And then we will make sure the offering plate gets passed before the show ends.
That's it. Hey, bring your tithes and your offering. Okay, let me stop, man. What's on your calendar? What's actionable?
Oh boy, you don't got an organ in there with the sound effects? Come on, let me stop. Let me not take us down the road somewhere we don't want to go.
Glad. Okay, that's enough. Cut it off.
No, we don't need no strikes.
Cut it off.
I need this to be
monetized.
I'm so sorry. Hicks News Media community.
Because Conscious Conversations last week was demonetized because I showed a snippet of the Michigan game.
But so that's not going to be. You're not going to get demonetized off of that, bro. I play that.
3 seconds.
I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
It takes 3 seconds, bro.
Yeah. I got you on them sound effects. I mean, not all of them, but I got you. James got some over there.
Y'all invite me
As
for
long
the
as it ain't
first
no R.
time,
Kelly.
and hey, Walter, they ain't gonna want to bring me back on.
Yeah, you done. I'm gonna change the login code for the studio.
Is that Walter, not this one?
Okay, both Walters.
No, I was talking to you. Yeah, Walter's like, no, that's Walter Strong.
Lord have mercy.
Gainer the second. But Q1, what are we doing in Q1 so that our calendar can be filled? Number one, just getting back to making short form videos between 3 to 5 minutes. When I first started my YouTube journey, is as horrible and as bad as I look at them now, they were. I need to get back in doing it because they are the connection to live streams and shorts and other form of content you make on YouTube. So to eliminate that part of video creation from your portfolio, it will reflect in your analytics. I just did a recent review on my analytics over the last 90 days because I did step away from the channel for the last 4 months and did some other content creation on another channel, which, it was a good experience. But at the end of the day, it was like what you say, tall boy, stay in your lane, regardless if you got a passion for it. If that's not the lane you're supposed to be in, you get back in the lane where you're supposed to be and get back to work. So that's why the huddle is where it's at now. So my analytics showed me over 90 days for the period I was on, the growth that you want, the watch hours that you want, it's going to come from the short form videos. Not everyone can dedicate time and watch an hour live stream.
Yeah.
Regardless of how many chapters you put in it, what time codes you put in it, people's time, what they're going to devote is not always going to be that. So short form videos is number one. Number two, I would say learning how to better utilize my time and repurposing the content from the live streams in short form. And so I definitely will be having a conversation with you about Opus Clips, James, because your name continues to come up when I share with my team about Opus Clips. Your name is the one that keeps coming up. And then three, is doing a rebranding color of the website, because when you look at the website, the color branding of that does not match the YouTube channel. And that can be a disconnect by you do your best in putting together your own website and you make it as, sufficient as possible. But when, the experts start to look at it, and if you're looking at for brand deals and sponsorships, that can be a stumbling block for someone to want to work with you. So doing those three things in Q1 is definitely the focus on the huddle.
I didn't even know you had a website. Hold on, man. Let me try to.
Oh, you're wrong.
I always
wrong.
Excuse me. I always knew
you
that
are
YouTube
so wrong.
got me over here coughing and doing on air. That's Lord have mercy. Hold on.
Yeah.
You talking about Walter Strong the third?
It's all good.
Oh no, hold on. I don't want to bring it up if it ain't right. I don't want to bring it up.
It's right. It's just the color. It's just the color brand. If you put it side by side to the YouTube channel and you look at the color, then a branding aspect. They'll say what.
There. No lint on that polo shirt. This
pretty
boy.
Good person for iPhone picture. Imagine if it was done on a DSLR mirrorless camera.
Well, it's all right. Okay.
Thinking bigger.
I'm sorry, Walter.
Yeah, look at that, thinking bigger. That's content strategy, thinking bigger. Good title. All right. Well, that's dope. That's dope. I like it. I didn't even know you had a website. Man, I'm gonna add it to my RSS feeds. Now, but
if you put up the YouTube channel and you look at that brand color, as it was pointed out to me, that is you're looking to, you're communicating to your message and thinking bigger. You see, if you go down to the banner, I just recently did the banner.
Mm-hmm.
To try to improve. So when you're looking at the banner for that and looking at the website, there needs to be a correlation of everything connecting.
I hear you.
For it, because eventually, tall boy, I do want to get to that point where I can drive people from YouTube to the website. I want to get there, but I also have to do my homework in getting the subscribership numbers in the watch hours where they need to be as well. I need to work on that. And then if I added a fourth one, working on my thumbnails. As good as I think those thumbnails are, I still got more work to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's always an evolving process. I do like the fact that you wear your brand. you wear your stuff, right? And again, once you get monetized and you get the YouTube shelf, even before that, just make a link and start up something like a fourth wall. And once you get to a point where you want to start selling that merch, I think that's going to be a good hit for you, because constantly and consistently, I see you rocking your gear, and your community is going to want to support you from that perspective. I think so. Okay, I hear you, man. That's dope. That's dope. Let me see here. Some people simply won't watch a stream or podcast in long form. That short form, 3 to 5 minute, has an audience. That's true. I listen.
Right.
My
He's telling the
last
truth.
my last short, I tried something different this time. I didn't use any music in it, and it has gotten 3x the engagement in terms of people watching and in terms of people reaching out. And it was one of the, it wasn't even a hot topic from Team No Sleep. It was just me and Montel talking about NIL, talking about the money that's within college sports. But that one was the right length of time. Obviously, it was a YouTube short, so it was like 45 seconds. But that time the only thing I didn't do was I didn't put any trending music in it. And it has literally 3x the amount of engagement. I don't know if that's a fluke. I don't know what that is. Yeah. So I'm gonna try something.
How many minutes was it, James? And you find when video, and I apologize to Walter for over talking. In terms of your videos, what's your length? 20 to 30? Are you going over 30? And I ask, what are you finding where it makes it really pops for you? Because that's something I'm experimenting.
So that one was about 45 seconds long. Yeah, that one was 45 seconds. I don't go anything. Obviously, it's got to be 60 seconds for it to be a short. But I'll typically do a outro that has closing music and has a call to action to go to the site. I didn't do any of that this time. I just did the clip right out of the platform that I use. I did use Opus Clip on that, and I put the captions with captions.ai. But again, no trending music from CapCut or anything like that, and it was just a clip done properly. I did all of the formatting things that they put it out there, and it's done significantly better than anything else has within the last month, where I've fancied it all up. Yeah.
Question: are you using Opus Clips, and then after it gives you that, then you go into CapCut, or are you just doing Opus Clips and then something else? Like how does all that work?
Yeah, good question. And it depends. It depends on the mood, depends on the day. A high percentage of them, of the clips that I cut up, they start in Opus, or they'll start in video.ai. They'll start there. I'll put them over to CapCut. I'll do all of the extra graphics. I'll do the music. If I really want to fancy up and be more dramatic with the captions, I'll put them over into captions.ai, because that's where I can do the punch-in effects and be a little more seamless. And since I can do it on my mobile, I can be anywhere doing it. So that is my workflow. It'll go from Opus to CapCut to captions, and then I'll post it out. This one in particular was just Opus Clip.
So second question that I have, in the Opus Clips, are you putting in that whole video of your 1 hour and 20-minute show, or are you cutting up each segment and then putting it into Opus Clips?
Great question as well. No, I'm putting in the whole thing. So I'm putting in the whole,
eating up all the minutes.
Well, again, if you want to put my business out there in the streets, I am a brand partner with the company.
Oh, I can't afford that. I'm sorry. Opus, come on. Can I get a brand partnership deal? Like, help me. I'm wearing my mama's cooking, but I wear an Opus Clips shirt. Like, help me out. Help me out, Opus Clips. Use this.
Tall boy powered by Opus.
Tall boy powered by Opus. Yeah. I like that.
That will be some of the content that I put out in CES this week, though, because I'm in cahoots with them, but that's another great question. Yeah, so because of my situation, and I am comped that platform, I just put the whole thing in. But with the platform, you can actually specify, cut out the first 10 minutes, cut out a specific amount of time, so you don't have to just use that whole hour and a half that you've recorded. But for my case,
I see what you did over there this year. I seen what you did in 2023. You got in with all the big dogs, and they just say, "Hey, okay, I see you." I ain't mad at you, brother. You made it work.
That's my part of this conversation. Actionable, measurable steps for Q1, and then I'm gonna let you go after me. That's what I'm doing. right?
Mhm.
I'm putting the turtle wax and the armor all on it. I'm polishing it up. The media kit is
Yeah.
dope. I put out a little post the other day. I said, listen, I've updated the calendar. I've updated the pricing categories and the schemes. So all of those little things that larger brands need to know before they actually email you, before they actually call you. Because we've all got the catalogs. We've all got the stuff out there. We've all got a ton
It's
of
all about
content out there,
presentation.
playlists. We all got that out to count the content catalogs. But do
Mhm.
you have those SOPs in place? Standard operating
Mhm.
procedures? Do you have the documentation? Do you have how I'm going to engage with X, Y, and Z? Do you have pricing? Do you have all of that stuff? So that you, at drop of a hat, you give that to someone. You can send them a zip file. Boom. This is how you're going to engage with Hicks New Media. Boom. We live stream here and there. I need this information. This is what we're going to. This is how we're going to do it. All of that now, for the most part, the foundation of it is automated. Right. I just add in the little pieces that are make it specific, but that's where I'm going for this particular quarter, getting more locked in with some of those processes and showing people how to do that. So
Mhm.
I'm going to start doing online working sessions, very similar to what Steve Worthy was doing with his Pomodoro sessions, right? I'm actually going to start going live on a weekly basis, maybe bi-weekly, but for
Mhm.
30, 60 minutes, walking through the process of creating thumbnails, walking through the process of setting up an eCam profile, walking through those steps, not necessarily talking to folks unless they engage, right? Because I'm just going to have the working session, but then you log in and you come in if you have some questions that you want to talk about. And then, so that's where I'm going to go. More longer form sessions that are working online where the community can come in and engage and interact. That's my thing.
Mhm.
That's a
That's gonna
long-winded
be
answer
fire.
I
to your
love it.
question. I know. I'm sorry.
That's gonna be fire.
Oh, that's
I
what's
was
up, man.
wondering if you
Sign
had
me up.
anything screen recorded. Yeah. Add me to the list.
We will. We will. Let me get this and see here. Hello. Good. Appreciate you. I don't want to say the
Oh,
name wrong.
that's my people.
Cave.
Kaib,
Okay. Cave. Love it. Love it.
Kaib, or you can call it
That's what I
Eve.
said. That's what I said. No,
Hey,
listen. No.
that's Penn State's finest over there,
Shouts out
or
to
she
Penn
thinks
State. I
she's
was
Penn
supposed to go to
State.
Penn State. I
Boy, you
was.
lying. Boy, stop playing. What my sound effect?
My
Oh,
dad
hell
is
no.
on the stream right now, and I was supposed to go to
You
Penn
offered you
State.
a
I
$1
didn't
million
go.
It was
scholarship.
Syracuse. It was Syracuse last week. This week is Penn State.
Was Syracuse? All right, go Orange.
Can't get right. But I was using Opus
What else,
Clips
Kaib?
in the Final Cut Pro to get everything right. Yes, sir. Final Cut Pro. I still have Final Cut and I still have DaVinci on the system. So, like I was saying earlier, at least try to know 3 platforms: DaVinci, Final Cut, and CapCut are the 3 that I use constantly all the time. I'm not going to recommend CapCut to everyone because that may not be what they. I can't mess with Premiere. Premiere, listen, that's on a whole new level. So, shouts out to you, Brother Gainer, because that's the real deal, Holyfield, right? So, but those are the ones that I'm using. Hey, there we go, right there. The man is still in the building. What did he say? That's right. Penn State. I was supposed to go to Penn
That's
State.
your daddy. He's supposed to lie for you.
Well, he's
Hey, go ahead. That's
Give
your
him that
daddy. He's
check
supposed to
once a
lie
week.
for
Like,
you.
yeah.
Oh
He's
no!
supposed to stand on business with you, man. Don't do
standing
that.
on
Man, come on,
that's
man.
okay.
Mr. Hicks,
Come
good
on,
afternoon, Mr.
man.
Hicks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, it's still morning here. Brenda Vars, we see you. This is what I need. Appreciate you for joining. Listen, this is what we do. Tall boy, we was gonna wrap it up with you. What are you doing? And listen, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say this, but be quick because because I want to get into the last topic.
I'm my own show. I got you. All right,
You
I'm
know
gonna
what I'm
be real
saying?
quick, man.
So
I
what you
got
gonna
I got
do
you,
for
brother.
Q1? Be quick, and then I want to talk to you specifically about what we doing next week. Okay.
I'm
There we
going on
go.
vacation. That's what I'm
No,
doing
you're
on
not.
Q1. I'm going on vacation. I'm
Okay.
out of here, bro. Because you got to think, man. I got to find a way to get away. I need to restart. And so so one thing that my mentor told me, she said, or one of my mentors had said, she said, you got to know your season. And there's a time to plant, a time to water, time to grow, and a time to manifest.
Come on.
And so knowing that, I know that November to about February is really like my manifest season. And then after that, it's like, okay, what are we going to do? So behind the scenes, I've been working on tallboy.us, the website. So you can actually put it up if you like. And I'm planning on helping entrepreneurs. That's it. Like I want to help people, small businesses, say, how do I grow your content? And if you have events or if you have something like, hey, we can create the content for you. We rebranded the whole website. And that's what it is. And then we also have labtechshow.com because we're going somewhere that you're going to talk about shortly. And that's for the tech community over there, how we can take your brand to another level. So the last thing that I'm going to be probably doing is I bought a lot of SaaS deals. I just bought them.
Shouts out to
I bought
Absolute.
them. Yeah, I bought a lot of them, and my thing is I got to figure out how to work them. So because I own them, I got to figure it out. So I mean, you didn't buy it just for them to be shelfware. You bought them because you felt like it was a use case. And if I can't use it for myself, it's how can I outsource it to help somebody who has a small business like Kaiv, who's out there selling jewelry and saying, hey, I need to get this out. Okay, well, maybe we can create you a merch page, or maybe we can help you with your blogging. Or I'm not a blogger at all, but I found Blogify. Maybe that might work for her or something like that. Or maybe somebody else might need something. So those are my 3 things that I plan on doing, brother.
I love that. I love the fact
Is that quick enough for you, brother?
But that was good. But see, and I'm going to elaborate on it again. Because I'm giving everyone else flowers. I'm going to give you a couple of flowers too. I love the fact that everyone here is staying mobile, staying active, right, and not being content and complacent in the state that they are in right now. We're all thriving. We're all viral in our own minds, in our own rights, right? We are all successful in our own right. We all have different markers for whatever the case it may be. But no one here has said that they are comfortable with that. Everyone wants to get to that next level, that next evolution, that next 1% better, that next 10% better, so they can bring someone behind them with them. I may be reading into it, but again, that's how I'm thinking. That's how I'm surrounding myself with folks that are doing that kind of thing. We all continue to run in this marathon, not just happy and satisfied and just content with where we are today, but trying to get to that next thing. And it's not always about buying stuff, but everyone says that they're working on something new. Everyone says they're working on learning a new craft, learning a new software, hardware, platform, whatever the case may be. So that's what's real dope. That's what's real dope. This is the Technologist Forum. If you're not subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting on. Because these are the cats that I'm rolling with this year. And come on now, this is where it happens every Saturday. Try to do every Saturday, 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. But some of y'all don't show. Well, 2 of y'all in the comments right now, not on camera. But I'm not gonna put nobody on blast. Steve Worthy.
It's 1:30 in the afternoon. Our day has already started, brother. It's 10:30 for you. It's 1:30 for us. So I mean, you got to 12 o'clock. That's a different thing, brother.
My God. See, there he go.
I got you, Steve. You my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog.
And I won't put his business out there, but he had a great Christmas. So congratulations to Mr. Worthy and his great holiday time and the things that happened. Tallboy, we going somewhere. Come on. I know you like to ride under the radar, but next week is a good week. Next week is a week that only a handful of people in the industry get to experience. Talk to us about your experiences and what you're expecting from CES in Vegas this year.
All right, for the ones that are not familiar, the Consumer Electronics Show is the world's largest tech convention in the world. Basically, people descend from all over to Las Vegas. This week, it will be January 9th through the 12th. The people who have access via media will be out there starting on Sunday. So the 7th and the 8th are media days, where we get a chance to see you guys. Many of you guys will see it on your local news or on CNN, where they're unveiling what Samsung is doing or what some of the heavy players are doing. And then on the 9th through the 12th, that's when you get a chance to see all of the products that are either concept coming to market Q1, 2, 3, or 4 of 2024, or will be some of your Christmas gifts that you will be purchasing in November or December of this year. So we get a chance to see it, touch it, feel it, all of that great stuff next week. This is year 12 or 13 for me. And so for me, this means a lot to me because I get a chance. This is my space. And my goal is to build relationships with these companies to say, how can I bring you onto the show? How can I introduce you to my audience? How can we build together? And my goal, I don't look for the big companies. I look for the small startup, medium-sized companies. Those are the ones that I'm looking for. The Samsungs and the Sonys and the Canons, I aspire to be on that level, but I know where my lane is. Like I said, I stay in my lane. So my thing is finding that lane of companies and startups and medium-sized companies to say, I see where you are. This is where I'm at. Let me introduce your product to my audience, and maybe you may be interested into some of these products. If you travel, might hook you up with a Benji lock where you can use your fingerprint. This mouse, the Lexus MP93. If you're on PC, this mouse has a joystick on the side, and you can press forward or backwards, and your screen goes up and down, flick it up and down. All those tabs that you have open, it switches back and forth. So meeting those different companies and having a chance to see them when they're in concept or they're ready to release, and now building those relationships. So that's what CES is for me, and it's 96 hours. There's no sleep. So I mean, what they say, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. James and I know that story all too well, so we've kept it in Vegas. If he knows what I'm talking about.
Well, you was doing all right for a minute, boy. You know, I'm gonna throw your phone in there.
So what happens in Vegas? Those parties are going to those suites of the MGM Grand or the Venetian or the Aria, going into those conventions. I mean, the smaller conferences or smaller, parties after. I mean, you get a chance to have one-on-one conversations with the major players, and you're getting a chance to shake hands and kiss babies with those people, and how does your personality win over? So that's what CES is to me. Hopefully that's a generalized summarization of what CES, and I'm looking forward. And as a shameless plug, if you got Cash App and you want to help on the journey, Tall Boy Enterprises, I take anywhere from $1 to wherever your heart desires. Go ahead and bless me.
Amen. Listen, that's a good summary, man. Yeah, I mean, CES is an exclusive event, and Tallboy, this is your what 13th. This is my 12th year. I even saw in one of my Facebook memories today the first time that I went there pop up this morning, and looking forward to it. I'm actually also looking forward, and I know some other creators. This is going to be their first or their second time going. So shouts out to Stephanie Garcia. She's going to be there. I've been chatting with her. Shouts out to Rocky Nash. She's also part of the eCam community. So we meet with a lot of our colleagues and our peers, but Tallboy will go out there and he will hit up a place called Eureka Park. He will go out there and, just like he said, he will hit those up and coming international companies that no one's heard about yet, right? But they're on the cusp of breaking out. And he'll put them on his show, and he'll get their product, and he'll introduce them to his community. But what we will also do, and this is so for everyone else, and I'll get to you what you said here, Kevin, in the comments, we will also definitely be at Sony's press event. We will also be at LG's press event. We will be at Honda. We will be at Intel. We will be at So we will be Samsung. We will be at all those large events as well, because that's where we will see, like he was saying, the stuff that's not out yet, maybe going to be out in 2025.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to that. I got my soft shoes packed. I got my insoles packed. That guy kind of thing. I got a little bit of bail money just in case, Dad. If I need to call you, I'm gonna tell you where I'm gonna tell you where.
He might be denied at a party, and he might want to act a fool. So
listen, they're gonna get maybe some furniture moving.
It's the party. So what people don't know, there's a certain select parties. Yeah, I can't say too much, but there's select parties.
What happens in Vegas?
I thought it stayed in Vegas. Why are you sharing?
I know why he talking.
No. What I'm saying, there's select parties that you have to be. And I mean, those are the who's who parties. And James, he wants to be in those parties. So
I'm gonna find a way to get in.
He happens to land in jails because he gets in the party. That's all I'm gonna say.
I've got access to all except for one, but I'm gonna find a way to get into this one that I don't currently have access to. But needless to say, we're probably gonna be live streaming as much as we can. But in in those venues, it's kind of like a fallout shelter. It's hard to get anything out there live, but we will. Tallboy has his team going out there. I'm going out there solo this particular year, but I'm going light as it relates to gear and equipment. So I'm gonna be pretty mobile. But we're gonna put some content out. So check out our sites and wish us well as we go out there and hit these streets. In rap, what do you guys have to say? Well, I try to find this car that Kevin is talking about, because Sony did have the car, and I got a great interview in front of the car. I was doing the talk, and Tallboy was actually filming me while I was standing in front of the Sony car. So I'm gonna try to find that video and I'll put it up. Well, Brother Gums, tell us, bring us home.
No, I'm just looking forward to this year. I'm excited. Walter knows some things I've spoken to him about, and inside the BPA, it's a year of growth for us. So, and it's time to really start establishing a community in the podcast industry as one of the chief or go-to organizations for Black content creators and professionals in the podcast industry. So, I'm just excited to get it going, man, and I appreciate all the support. One thing I didn't get a chance to say earlier, James, was we're actually hitting our 1 year anniversary for the newsletter this month. So
nice.
It's been an interesting year.
Congratulations
And I got a shout out. And I got a shout out to contributors, because I wouldn't have been able to maintain and sustain it the way I have without the people that contributed to the portions of the newsletter. So that's been big. But just trying to grow that as well and establish that. Even though there's some forces out there that might not like our growth, but
come on.
That's
Hey
man, accountability this year, brother. That's what I said. Come on,
don't
stand on it.
Right there. We trying to close. You about to start a whole other session. Okay, right on. Good stuff on you, man. Good stuff on you there. Brother Strong, talk to us. Take us home from your side.
I would just say to every person, every content creator that is on this platform and that is listening on YouTube or whatever you're streaming from, I want to leave you with this thought: broken crayon, still color. Broken crayon, still color. I don't care what's happened to you in 2023. If your heart got broken, your mind got broken, life got broken, you got broken on YouTube because you didn't make certain goals. In the hand of a child of a broken crayon, they can create a masterpiece. In the hand of the master, you got your next video that's going to go viral because you're a broken crayon and you can still color.
My goodness. This man.
That's fire.
Yeah, let's let that marinate for a minute. Let's get that a moment of clarity. Tallboy, you got to follow that. I'm sorry. You go and bring us home on your
Lee, it's always hard to come behind all of that. I already dropped my gym drop. What I say, my mama's cooking right here. You see Kwame Brown, I'm rocking you. I mean, it is what it is. But we're always going to be in the kitchen cooking. And this is the year of accountability. And as in the words of Cat Williams, winners are not allowed to let losers rewrite history, period.
These gentlemen here are dropping some gems, y'all. Yeah. All their links are going to be in the description because you need to make sure you follow these gentlemen. WG2, talk to us.
Relationships are going to be the key to my success. Relationships with the audience, relationships with content partners. Like Corey is saying, he's been on me all year to get the articles up, and I definitely appreciate that. So basically building more relationships like that where we kind of help each other grow. So that's going to be my key 2024 and beyond.
Appreciate you guys. Listen, this again, we're out here just trying to bring some value. We're out here trying to have some conversation. Appreciate you for taking the time to come out every week when we have this conversation. As you see, I think we resonated with someone, right? The fact that we had all these comments out here, we had 59 comments that I'm looking at right now. Hopefully we were able to get to them all and to give somebody some insight, give somebody some clarity, some direction. Reach out to these four gentlemen if you guys got any questions, because they are masters at what they do. They don't profess to know everything, but they know something. And they have a decent Rolodex so that they can point you in the right direction, regardless of what it is that you're trying to do. So be good. Stay out of trouble. Y'all pray for us as we go hit these highways and byways and do what it is that we do. And we will see you next week on the Tek'na.le.gist Forum. We out.